about yesterday.
Right.
And I kind of want you to, I want to see where you want to go from here. So first, the cold start, I'd like to try it again tomorrow because I did all my fuel pressure testing in the morning, and that meant running the fuel pump. Even though I didn't heat up the warm-up regulator, I just looked at control pressure and system pressure.
What you doing?
Fuel pressure. And the cold control pressures were all in spec, but the car started really easy. I mean, I didn't have to put my foot on the gas or anything. I just twisted the key and it started. So I suspect that's just because I had primed the system. Now, one of the things that I noticed is the fuel pump is really noisy. When you run the pump without running the whole car, so you can actually hear stuff, the pump is just squealing away in the front. Now, I did check the current draw and it's within spec. It's at 7.8 amps on the current draw. So that means the pump is pulling the right amount of amps to do the job. But the system pressure is above factory spec. It's at 5.5 bar now. Maximum is 5.2.
Ouch.
Too high.
It's got a lot of noise to the pump.
Yeah. So that can be contributing to it, but I would say the car would probably benefit from a fuel pump, definitely. Now, when I heat up the warm-up regulator, the hot control pressure is about 0.4 of a bar too high. It's running at 4.1 to 4.2 bar, and the maximum on the spec is 3.8. It should be between 3.4 and 3.8 bar. So the warm-up regulator does need some work in there.
What are you looking for now?
Hot control pressure is too high.
Okay.
Just to correct that, the cold is good, but the hot not so much. On the ignition timing, I checked the timing at 6,000 RPM. You're running 22 degrees. Before top dead center, the spec is 19 to 24, so you're right in that range. And the vacuum hose is correctly ported. I put a vacuum gauge on it. Got ported vacuum. At idle, you have no vacuum, and off idle, you're pulling 10 to 15 inches depending on engine speed and load on that vacuum. So it's all wired up correctly, it's hooked up correctly, and is working the way it should be. As far as tailpipe emissions are concerned, the CO is correct for an O2 system. So right now it's running at about 0.5% CO at the tailpipe, which is the spec on one of these cars using the O2 sensor is 0.5 to 0.8% CO, so you're right there. And the longer I let it idle, it did come up to around 0.7, so you're definitely setting in that range. However, with the O2 sensor plugged in, it's definitely got that surge. I just came back from driving the car then, and at low speeds with a trailing throttle or a light throttle, you definitely do get that surge on the O2, which is kind of indicative of that system. No, that's the O2 sensor.
Oh.
In my notes.
Oh, okay. Because I can feel it pulling back on us.
Surging.
Oh.
That's the O2 as it steps over the line and comes back again. Steps over the line and comes back again.
Yeah, I can feel that.
But hey, at least the O2 sensor's working. That means the frequency valve is working. Let's see. Secondary resistance is I checked the ignition rotor. It does have the incorrect rotor in the car. And the wires, as we spoke of yesterday, I just measured the coil wire and cylinder number 1. Cylinder 1 measured 736 ohms, should be 4,000 ohms. and the coil wire measured 360 ohms, and that one should be, with the rotor you have installed, it should be 5,000 ohms. Resistance in front of the coil is only 396 ohms, so 13, let's say 1400, I'll round up to be nice. Should be 6,000. So it's up to you what you'd like to do there. Did find a problem inside as well, the Beirut cap, the carbon brush in the middle of the cap. When I popped the cap up to check the rotor, I found the brush just laying in the bottom of the distributor, and you can see a definite 6 burn marks where the spark energy is jumping from the carbon brush spring to the rotor. So you actually have an air gap there, which you shouldn't have. So you will, I looked at the brush, I've saved it for you. Looks like the little tab piece got broken off when the cap was installed. Sometimes they fall out of the spring, but the little locking piece that's cast into it is it's snapped right there, so I couldn't put it back in. That's something that would need to be dealt with sooner than later, because that's not good on any of the ignition side of stuff. The clutch pedal, I didn't lift the car, I got stuck with that other car still on the rack, but I can feel in the pedal there is an excessive amount of free play at the pedal, so you need to revisit that, and we kind of spoke about that yesterday. On our clutch, we have a clutch cable that's set up incorrectly. This is supposed to come up and over the throttle pivot right here, and also the cable's not set up correctly, and our clearance is excessive there. So we'll adjust that and correct that. Driving the car, I've got a pretty solid hard pull to the right, and at about 50, which is as high as I took it just here on the 180, 50 to 55, the car's really unstable at any speed. It's really twitchy. A lot of that, I think, is just because the state of your suspension, how low it is, it's really outside of its usable area. And on our really rough dirt road, it's definitely riding on the bump stops. So there's needs quite a bit of work there to get it up and where it should be.
Look at that. Oh, it really pulls.
Cruise control to the right.
It's a pretty radical pull, actually.
First gear does not want to go.
I think it's the windscreen.
A little twitchy up front. Pretty good.
No, it's still.
Inside pull. Things just all over the road.
I think that's just the lowering.
That's just the current state of the suspension.
Oop.
Brakes work good.
Nice.
Then the last thing I had on the list was the transmission shift. It is stiff, especially going into first, but it doesn't grind. So what I would do there is start with an oil change on the transmission and then drive it for a couple of 100 miles and reassess it. I don't think it's really time to tear the transmission down. I did get a little bit of diff noise that I could hear in third gear when I was on a flat, fairly quiet road, but certainly wasn't super excessive. Really dirty.
So you would say not
and,
changed.
And overfilled.
Yes, overfilled as well. Would that affect his shift problem?
Not usually.
We might not be completely level right now.
Level enough.
Yeah. solidly not see-through the wheel. How hot is it?
Oil cooling.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that's way less than 1,500 miles. Look at that. Look at the colour of it.
Yeah, it's really dark.
And that's what I got so far.
Sweet. Thanks for looking all that over.
What would you like me to do, or if anything, I know you like to tackle a lot of this stuff yourself.
Let's start with I think fuel pump is probably something fairly easy I can tackle myself.
Very easy to do.
The warm-up regulator, that's something that you think should be
It is too high. So at 4.1, it is running more on the lean side, and that may affect the cold start. I mean, for me, both yesterday afternoon when I moved the car in and again today when I started the car, I had no issues. I mean, it was just twist the key and the car fired right up.
Right.
But one, yesterday the car wasn't completely cold, so that can play a part. And then, as I said this morning, I was running the fuel pump, doing my fuel pressure tests, and that means the whole system is primed. Now, what you may be experiencing when the car sits for a day or more overnight is the pump being as noisy as it is. It probably takes a second to buzz up to speed when you turn the key to crank, and you may be just experiencing that delay because the fuel pump is showing signs of wear.
Okay.
So
yeah, that makes sense. Did the on the fuel pressure, did it maintain leak?
Rest pressure? Yep. Rest pressures were great. I had the gauges on in the morning and we went for lunch. And after an hour's break, the car was still sitting at the 30-minute spec of 2.1 bar. So rest pressures are great. Hot restart is great. The only thing I'm seeing on the fuel system right now is that hot control pressure is outside of the factory tolerance.
Okay. Do you think that's something that, I really need to do pronto, or?
No, the car it's driving okay. Your ignition system is more of a situation where that is going to cause more issues very soon.
Okay.
So if I was you, the cap is a big deal, and you need to bring those resistances into line for what they should be for factory spec, because eventually, and this is the thing with this system, it takes anywhere from 12 months to 18 months, but eventually it will kill either the coil or the CDI box or both.
And then as far as the timing, everything's going on based on the timing at 6,000. Would you recommend just staying with that distributor, or
Correct.
have the one?
Everything on the distributor is working the way it should do. So the difference that you have now versus the original vacuum retard distributor is your idle point. It's idling at 5 degrees before TDC, whereas with the vacuum retard module, it would be idling at 5 degrees after top dead center. So the maximum amount of advance is there. The vacuum side of things is correct in that you're getting a ported vacuum signal, so you are getting that advance there. And it is getting 5.5 degrees of vacuum advance when I measure it. So the diaphragm most likely has 2 3/4 degrees in that diaphragm. At this point, I see no reason to change it, no benefit to change it. Putting the 1, 2, 3 ignition distributor in it is not going to give you any immeasurable improvements.
Yeah, I'll email you. Cool.
I'll write it all up and send it over to you. Probably be first thing in the morning by the time I get it all done. I gotta get back on that other car and take a look at it.
Okay, but yeah, I think I'm leaning towards doing the fuel pump and then the warm-up regulator coil, spark plug wires, the bearer ones, resistor, distributor cap, and then the clutch adjustment.
Yep.
Cool. All right.
All right. I will
Thanks, Kurt.
write it up and I'll get it over to you by tomorrow.
All right. Perfect.
All right.
Thanks.
Thanks, Zach. Bye.
In case you missed that, just going to plug the O2 sensor back in and look at the numbers.
That was an easier shift. It's definitely performing a little better.
Almost has boost.